Howdy, 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 my darling Cancer. And oh my goodness, darling, when it comes to your tarot reading, you are about to be stepping into a very exciting new journey for yourself. I feel like you might have always felt as if, Cancer, that you have been actively always walking in your destiny here. But, there seems to be a major plot twist in a positive way here, my friend Cancer, that is really going to be stirring things up for you. You are ready for this new journey. This is something that you have been wishing for, even though you may not initially think this is what it is that you saw for yourself, darling. I promise you it's going to be really fabulous here. All right. So this is your weekly tarot reading for January 2023, Cancer. All right. I'm doing a past, present, future spread for you. But before we get into these tarot cards, darling, let's talk about the back of the deck energy being the strength card here in the back of the deck. All right. And so, Cancer, you have been really working on yourself, darling. All right. And this is something that I feel like not a lot of people have been aware about. All right. This is not part of the journey that many people have been privy to knowing your struggles, right? I feel like you have been really in this place of always wanting to present yourself in this place of that you have it together here, that you have like this tough exterior, but actually inside it's just like you've been struggling a lot. You've been trying to keep your head above water, Cancer. All right. And so while I acknowledge that you have been in this dark place, right, and you have been actively healing, right, I'm not really too worried about you, Cancer, out of my zodiac signs. Like, you were doing exactly what you need to be doing here. But the thing about it is, Cancer, because you have been in this fight or flight or survival mode for a while, Cancer, I feel like what's coming towards you, Cancer, is something that you have been not really ready to quite claim or grab onto, because like you have so much else going on that you're just like, oh, I can't even entertain like these new projects, these new ideas, these new concepts, because you have been doing so much personal work, right? And so let's just get into this tarot reading here, going over each of these spreads here, each of these rows. So in your past, my beautiful Cancer, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups here, and then the Eight of Pentacles. All right. So in your past, I feel like this has already started coming into the forefront of your mind, Cancer, where it's like maybe you've been thinking about going back to school, changing up what it is that you have been doing. All right. Maybe for some of you Cancers, you've been thinking about dabbling into social media or dabbling into some personal endeavor, going back to school. All right. You have been thinking about ways that you could elevate yourself or change things in your life here. All right. And your spiritual team was like applauding you for it, Cancer. It's like you have these ideas and your spiritual team is like, yes, this is exactly where we want you to be, Cancer. All right. And so I get like this message here where it's like you started dabbling into these things. All right. But then something caused for you to pause, right? Maybe again, like life started getting really busy or chaotic for you, Cancer. Whatever your reasoning is, I'm sure it was good. But because of that pause, this Knight of Cups energy, this opportunity, this person that Spirit was sending towards you on your way here, was halted. All right. And that's not very fabulous, darling. All right. Because this opportunity or this person, right, because knights can represent people, or, in this case, an opportunity, because it's the Knight of Cups, Cancer. It stopped it in its tracks, and Spirit is sitting here telling you, just like, no, wait a minute, Cancer. I know life is getting busy, friend. All right. But it's time for you to upgrade. It's time for you to really commit to this new journey for yourself. And while it might be seemingly a lot for you to take on here, right? If you just kept at it for a little bit longer here, this Knight of Cups energy, whether this is a person or an opportunity, will be able to finally reach its destination, which is you, Cancer. But it only reaches that destination when you commit to this Eight of Pentacles energy. All right. And then Queen of Pentacles here, this is you. All right. And so in a social way, this is like some person coming into your life to help bring security in your life, help you feel taken care of. But also in a more outside of social, you could be seeing this as like this opportunity coming in here that would really help with your finances and really help you just feel, again, just secure with life and what's going on in your life, and just adding stability is like the main message here, Cancer. All right. And so what is it that has been popping up in your head that you've been wanting to do, maybe started dabbling into doing, but then again, life got busy? Let me know in the comments as well. I also just opened up a new spiritual podcast, and I'll leave a link to that in the comments below if you want to check it out. All right. It's pretty fun to do. So in your present situation, Cancer, we have the 9 and 3 of Wands here, and the 9 of Pentacles. And so the thing about this is, Cancer, is that yes, something life got busy for you, but and so you haven't been able to put as much time into these new things that you've been wanting to. But Spirit is not letting you forget. All right, just like in this tarot reading right now, I'm reminding you. I feel like you've been getting other reminders from other walks of your life, and in some type of way, whether it's like a specific song that's come up, maybe it's on your news feed, right? When as you're scrolling, it pops up. It's like your spiritual team is not letting you forget like that project that you started dabbling in. And again, it's for good reason. Just like I was already talking about, like, that Knight of Cups, you want to do your part to have it happen for you here. All right, the Nine of Pentacles, or rather the Nine of Wands, is the card of like the wounded warrior, where you're standing strong in your conviction. All right, so really at this time, Cancer, while I don't want to be adding to the noise of like the hustle culture nowadays, where it's like, there's almost like you feel bad if you take a day off or anything like that, Cancer, I really don't want to be part of that noise. But at the same time here, this is like your message from your spiritual team, Cancer, where it's just like, I know it's hard right now. I know life is stressful, but if you just keep grinding it out just a little bit longer until that Knight of Cups can meet you, all right, you'll be so happy. You'll be so rewarded for it. And part of the reason why I keep on mentioning your spiritual team is that we have the Nine of Pentacles here. All right, the Nine of Pentacles is a card of very successful self-employment opportunities where you're taken care of, but the Nine of Pentacles always has a familiar with them in the illustrations that you'll see here. And that little bird, or just whatever the animal is in your tarot card that you're using, it's always guiding that person, that individual, towards a specific pentacle. And as long as you listen to your familiars, you start paying attention to these signs, all right? Three of Wands energy. This lets me know you have been seeing the consistent signs. You're not going through spiritual psychosis or anything like that, Cancer. It's like you have been actively hearing your spiritual team. You've been actively seeing the signs of like what it is that you need to do. But again, because of just like you have been doing a lot of, personal shadow work, and you're just wanting to catch your bearings and just what have you, Cancer, has left you in this place of not feeling as open, or not being able to allot the time that you could or that you should towards these new things, just because you have like a priority system. You're just like, all right, I'm just wanting to make sure by the time I hit my bed at night that I'm still that you got everything done, bills paid or what have you, Cancer. All right, so I'm not downplaying what it is that you have been going through and the stressful things that are going on in your life here. I can just be telling you where you're at with energetically, and like what would be coming forward to you should you just really push yourself just a little bit longer here. All right, so this is like a new project that you've been wanting to undertake on, but like the learning curve is a little bit daunting, right? Everything you have to learn before you start, you have this project pick up and get off the ground here, a little bit intimidating. I promise you by the end of it, it's going to be so worth it. All right, now getting into your future spread here, Cancer, we have the Queen of Cups and Wands here, and then this Knight of Wands popping in as well. I do feel like for you, Cancer, you're going to be finding like your match here in like a soulmate way, or like a twin flame way, right? You could easily see this as like some strong twin flame energy, Cancer, but I don't get romance. All right. And so I will very confidently say that I don't feel like this is romantic at all, or it could lead to romance at a later point in time, Cancer, but I don't feel like that's the priority currently. I feel like right now the priority when it comes to this new energy meeting you here is like this adding zest to your life again. I feel like with this new energy here, it's like a new energy that's going to be matching you and helping you. How I want to really put this here, Cancer. I feel like this new energy just adds so much to your life that you don't even want to put a label to it. All right. And that's in a social way, in more of a project, in that type of way, Cancer. This leads me to believe that this new idea, this new project here, just gives you more zest for life again, of where it's like, if I were to make this, just to make like an analogy here, Cancer, as I just said, I have a podcast here and I am a Cancer rising. I would be seeing this new spread here and be like, okay, I always have been known for doing tarot, but this new project that I'm doing, which is a podcast, this kind of reads off in such a way where it's like, once I commit to doing this podcast and see where this takes me, all right, I become, instead of a tarot reader, I become like, my main gig becomes being a podcaster. Does that make sense, Cancer? So Again, that's just like how I would translate this for myself. But again, it could be different for you. All right, Cancer. So just take what resonates with you in that regard and just, leave what doesn't. Now, we're just going to get right into your oracle reading here, Cancer, because I don't feel like there's anything else to really divulge with this here. But we have the stars in the sky, limitless possibilities for you, Cancer. All right. And so I feel like the importance of this message here is that, especially with this Ace of Swords and then this King of Wands coming in here, and then I'm going to take this one as well. Like, I'm just drawing from the back of the deck, by the way, Cancer. All right, because Two of Cups as well. This is like your spiritual team letting you know where it's just like you can accomplish so much in this life right now. And sometimes when we are dealing with so much in our life, Cancer, we don't really allot time for new adventures, for new projects or anything like that, because sometimes we get lost. We don't want to get lost into daydreaming. We want to just take things at our face value and what is working right now, Cancer, right? And so what I feel for you is that I feel like it's time for you to be more open to possibilities of like what your future could look like, what could actually happen in your life, right? Because some of you Cancers, you don't want to be hopeful about certain things because you don't want to end up getting disappointed, which I understand, all right? But there's a reason as to why your spiritual team is wanting you to be more optimistic about things, Cancer, is because they're wanting you to see the bigger picture. And this is very much so the sense of where it's like some of you Cancers have convinced yourself that you're not going to be able to find like your next your person, like your new best friend, your new romantic relationship. You kind of convinced yourself being like, oh, okay, like no one's going to love me or just what have you, right? And that's not the case when it comes to projects. I feel as if for you, you are so used to being like the lone wolf and not really having anyone to help you along. You always have been the one that to just rely on yourself and not really have like a mentor or anything like that. That's very possible for you, Cancer. Like, again, I feel like 2023 for you is going to be a very big pleasant surprise should you just commit to this new energy, the Eight of Pentacles, this new projects, and changing up your scenery and what you invest into. So that's the weekly tarot reading that I have for you today, Cancer. Hopefully something in here resonated, and I'll connect to you sometime in the near future. Bye, darling.